WWE Evolution 2025 is just a week away, and we are here to break down what the build has been like for this show, predictions, and more. What is up, everybody? It's your girl, Denise Salcedo. Welcome back to the channel. So, many of you guys know that I had been calling and hoping that we would do Evolution for quite some time now, as I've spoken about in the past here on this channel. Then we also did a fantasy match build for Evolution 2025 once it was announced. Well, the show is officially here, and pretty much like that's it. Time is up. We're about to get to it. There's only one more episode of Raw, one more episode of SmackDown coming after this video. So we need to get right into this, guys, because there's a lot to kind of discuss. First and foremost, the build to Evolution. Unfortunately, I am so bummed out to have to say this, but I have not been in love with this build for Evolution. I really wish that WWE would have made a much stronger effort to tell better stories for a lot of these matches. There are some matches on here that have had some good storytelling, but there are most, if not practically all the rest, are really not that strong, and we're kind of just thrown together with very few mentions here and there of Evolution. Now, here's the thing. Evolution to me is a little bit of a different PLE compared to every other PLE. And the reason I say this is because we hadn't had a women's Evolution, all women's pay-per-view in a really long time, right? And the reason for that was they were saying that, the last one bombed, the first one bombed, that it wasn't good, people didn't go, people didn't care, blah, blah, blah. So we really had to put a lot more love and attention to this particular Evolution since it's the one coming back. And sadly, I don't think they did that for the women. I don't really think that they gave them all they possibly could in order to really make the show feel like a big deal. And I think the show does feel like a big deal to those that really care about women's wrestling, or those that just really want to see an all women's pay-per-view, because there's a lot of people here that are like really big on women's wrestling. But again, there's still a majority of people that are kind of, I don't know what their opinion is, but it's not like every single person is gonna, go and get excited for the show or whatever. And so that really bums me out, because I wanted Evolution to really feel like this big, gigantic, ginormous show. And I don't feel like they have necessarily met that criteria. But I have fingers crossed. I really want the show to be a success. And I really, really hope that it turns out good. I hope there's a bunch of last minute ticket sales, and I hope that everyone enjoys themselves, and I hope that we still get Evolution every year. However, I know that I am wishful thinking at the moment. But let's go ahead and jump into this card and talk about whether or not it even had a build and what we expect might happen. All right, let's kick things off with the Evolution Battle Royal. So here's the gist. The winner of this match will go on to face a champion of their choice over at Clash in Paris, which is the last show of the month of August. So we still got some time. We still got SummerSlam before that, and then Clash in Paris. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a fan of Battle Royals. I feel like Battle Royals, and I know why they did this. First of all, let me explain. They did this Battle Royal for multiple reasons. One, it was done on the original Evolution, and two, it gets a lot of women on the show, which at the end of the day, they want to get a bunch of women on the show, which is great, right? Whatever. And I'm actually glad that if they're going to do a battle royal, that it has some major stakes into it. The only reason I don't love battle royals, and I don't love battle royals across the board, because 80% of the match is just them fighting in the corner doing nothing, and it's not until the last portion of the match where you actually get a matchup. And then there are so many women that don't have singles matches or any other kind of match that are thrown into this battle royal. Like, for example, Stephanie Becker, who I do think is winning this battle royal, because I think she's the only one who's ever had mic time to talk about it since it was announced, unless they do some more people. But as of this video, she's the only one one I recall actually getting a chance to talk about this matchup. So I do think Stephanie is going to win, and I'm assuming she's going to go on to face Rhea Ripley, which we'll talk about Rhea in just a second. But I'm just personally not a big fan of battle royals, and I would have preferred to see like a gauntlet or something if you still want to get more women in, or just a fatal four-way, anything else that would give us more of a substance of a physical match. I don't want just, kicks and punches here and there and for the last few minutes to be great. So for that reason, I'm not like totally in love with the idea of doing the battle royal, but too late, not my decision. Here we are. And plus, I know a lot of you guys like battle royals. I don't, but that's just a personal preference. All right, next up, we have the NXT Women's Championship on the line, Jacy Jayne versus Jordynne Grace. So this one here, when you first glance at it, I think a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, Jordynne Grace, she's going to win. She's going to win. She should win, right? And I do think Jordynne Grace should win, but part of me thinks she's not. And the reason I say this is I feel like WWE NXT, they try to surprise us. They try to do the unexpected on that show. For a long time, we all thought Jordynne Grace was going to get called up. We thought she was going to get called up around the same time that Stephanie got called up, and she didn't. She's still sticking around on NXT. So I'm wondering that if Jordynne Grace loses in this match, I'm thinking she might actually get called up to go to the main roster. Now, here's the thing. Not only does this person, whoever wins, Jacy Jayne either retains the championship, Jordynne Grace becomes champion, right? The winner of this match will go on to Slammiversary over on the TNA side to face Masha Slamovich. And we already saw Jacy Jayne go out and attack Masha Slamovich this past Thursday on Impact, but Jordynne Grace has history on TNA. Jordynne Grace has history with TNA. She has history with Masha. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, was that a spoiler that it is going to be Jacy Jayne that retains? Or are we just easily going to be able to jump right back into this Jordynne Grace storyline with her and Masha and TNA, right? The better match, of course, would be Jordynne versus Masha. I think people want to see Jordynne as NXT Women's Champion, but a part of me thinks that Jacy Jayne might be taking this one. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But let's move on to the next matchup. So the next one that we have here is the tag team match. And that is Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus TBD to be determined Raw team, SmackDown team, and an NXT team, a fatal four-way for the women's tag team titles. So unfortunately with this one here, guys, I feel really, oh, by the way, they haven't updated the graphic. Charlotte and Alexa have already been announced for this. My apologies, guys. The graphic threw me off, but Charlotte and Alexa are in this match. Here's the other thing that I want to say is that I unfortunately feel because the women's tag team division isn't necessarily a fully fledged one. Like there aren't really a lot of women's tag teams. Like there's some that are thrown together, but there's not like actual concrete, plentiful amounts of women's tag teams. Like we don't have that, okay? We just don't. And it sucks. Unfortunately, because of Liv Morgan getting injured, that kind of rocked some plans. I'm assuming Roxanne was probably going to be in the Battle Royal or something. Who knows? Who knows what this was going to look like? Of course, we saw that Liv Morgan, Nikki Bella stuff before Liv Morgan got injured. So Liv Morgan getting injured definitely threw a lot of things around and shook things up, right? But so this is where we're at now. And I'm not really sure what to make of this. I think that Raquel and Roxanne retaining could be the most obvious option, but there is a world where Charlotte and Alexa could take it. Here's the thing with that is that if the titles do go back over to NXT, I wouldn't hate it because there's far more women over on the NXT side. And there's still a lot of women that are really not known that well that could be thrown together to make an actual tag team. So it might benefit the NXT women's division a little bit more, but I don't think they're going to do that. There's a world where they could, but I don't actually think they will. So I'm kind of really not even sure what I'm expecting from this one. I guess the most simple answer would be for Raquel and Roxanne to retain, especially right now that Judgment Day has pretty much all the gold. So I feel like they might want to keep that visual of Judgment Day holding championship belts, all of them, maybe for a little bit longer. All right, but now let's go ahead and get into this next matchup here. This is one that actually has a build, and that is Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a no holds barred match. So, this is one of the matches I'm looking forward to because first of all, they've wrestled already at WrestleMania and I thought they did a fine match. It was a job well done over at WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to this match because both of these girls just have been doing a good job with this story. Naomi has taken a whole new life with this character that she's doing, this caution persona that she has, this heel evil version of herself has been lovely. It's been wonderful. I've been loving seeing Naomi do what she's been doing. So I respect the feud that Jade and Naomi have had, and they have actually been telling one of the longest stories on this card. So this one here matters to me. Like it matters to me because I have dedicated a lot of time watching them beef on SmackDown and WrestleMania and wherever else they've been beefing. So this is one that I think the fans, I'm going to assume, are looking forward to because, again, we have been invested in this story for a while now. Of course, Jade Cargill is the queen of the ring, but Naomi's also Miss Money in the Bank. Jade defeated Naomi at WrestleMania, so I'm wondering if Naomi gets her win back here. I would like it if Naomi did, so I'm going to have to be rooting for Naomi on this one. Now, before we continue on with two more matches that are taking place at Evolution, what if I told you that you could make money placing bets on Evolution? I've recently started to do this with my brand new sponsor, MyBookie. Make sure you guys head on over to mybookie.ag so that you guys can place your bets on Evolution. Take a look. WWE Evolution takes place July 13th, and I hope you're betting over at MyBookie. Here is the current line of bets that you can place, and the rest of the matches will be added. Betting on pro wrestling is very, very fun because we follow the storylines, guys. Like we see what happens on the show. So we can put two and two together and try to figure out what can actually happen on the show. That's the cool thing about being able to bet for pro wrestling is that we follow the weekly programming. So, the telltale signs might just be there for us to make some cash. And not only can you bet on Evolution, but you can also head on over to the WWE specials area of MyBookie. And right now, they already have the lines open for WWE Saturday night's main event. Place your bet on Gunther or Bill Goldberg, Seth Rollins, or LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, or Randy Orton. It is all up there for you to grab and, again, hopefully make some money. Sign up with the code Denise and we'll back you on your first deposit. $100 gets you an extra $50. $200 gets you an extra Benjamin. What you do with it is up to you. WWE, UFC with MyBookie. You call the shots and cash in when it counts. Best of luck to everybody betting over on MyBookie. Head on over to mybookie.ag. Once again, the promo code is Denise. Now, another matchup that has been announced. However, there's no graphic for it just yet as of this video. And that was announced this morning. And it is that we are going to be seeing Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. The announcement was made on social media by GM Adam Pearce. So this is one that I think most of us were pretty much predicting would be on this card. And even as of like a month ago when I made my Evolution predictions video, I originally thought we were going to see Bayley versus Becky. So I was close. I was just missing Lyra Valkyria in that. It ended up being a triple threat instead of a singles match, which I am good with because I genuinely think that this match will kick ass because you got three very, very strong performers. In terms of who might win, my fingers are crossed for Bayley, guys. I think Bayley should win the Women's Intercontinental Championship and go on a freaking run of a lifetime. Please, fingers crossed, let's make this shit happen. And this is a story that has actually had a story. So I'm glad to support this because we've seen what's been going down between Becky and Bayley, Becky and Lyra, Bayley and Lyra. So all of these girls are interconnected with each other and actually have a feud going. So I couldn't be happier that there's an actual story for this matchup. And another matchup that was made just this past episode on SmackDown was Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. So this is one that I thought, why couldn't we have an actual build for this, guys? Like, Tiffany Stratton is our champion. Trish Stratus is a legend. So the fact that she's even going up for this championship should have maybe felt a little bit more of a big deal. I felt like this was just thrown together, kind of felt out of the blue, even though they've teamed up together in the past. That still did not constitute this match. So it felt like it just came out of nowhere. And it was like, let's just do this. Let's just run with it. I felt like they kind of did both of these women a disservice by not doing more between Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus if they really wanted to do this match. So I was pretty disappointed with the way that they put this match together. Tiffany Stratton to retain. And last but not least, a match that I'm very much looking forward to is Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Now, this is a match that we all knew was going to happen. They planted the seeds for this for quite some time. We knew that Io Sky would be facing Rhea Ripley. In the end, she just basically said, hey, I challenge you, Rhea. You're the best here, one of the best here, and I want to face the best and beat the best. So that is how we ended up getting this matchup. But of course, we know that they had a phenomenal match at WrestleMania that also included Bianca Belair. We know this match is going to be ace, guys. I just hope they get plenty of time for this because I really think that we can get women's match of the year, or maybe not of the year because the triple threat one was really good, but maybe second, or who knows, maybe it'll be better than the triple threat. I don't know. That's a tough one. That match was really good, but you just never know. I am expecting a phenomenal match. Like, this is the match that I'm most looking forward to out of the entire Evolution show. Like, this is the one. Who I'm going for, I think I'm going for Rhea Ripley here, only because I think Stephanie McCare is winning the Battle Royal. So I'm assuming we're going to get Rhea Ripley and Stephanie down the line at Clash in Paris. But there you have it, guys. That is our look at Evolution. What did you guys think of the build to this card? Are you excited for the show? And if so, which matches are you excited for? Let me know in the comments section below. And of course, I will be here to do a watch along and a review the day of Evolution. So I hope to see you guys here for that. Until next time, please do not forget to support our sponsor, mybookie.ag, with the promo code Denise. Place your bets. Let them know you heard from me. And if you like this video, I suggest you watch this video right over here because this is the video that YouTube thinks you're specifically going to like based off the videos you've already watched. And then make sure to subscribe right over here for more daily pro wrestling content. Bye, everyone.